Now that we've seen a number of issues associated with intelligent design, I want to take a step back and think about a larger picture issue. And that larger picture issue is the compatibility of teleology, or purpose-drivenness, on the one hand, and scientific methodology and scientific theories on the other. Obviously, intelligent design is one instance of thinking that teleology, purpose-drivenness, goal-directedness is compatible with science. But I want to look at a different example of the potential for teleology or goal-directedness in science from a very different part of science, namely from physics. Within physics, and the results that we've received from physicists over the last 50 or 60 years, one of the striking features that we've learned about our universe is that our universe is governed by a number of physical constants. Constants involving the forces, constants involving all sorts of relationships between different properties and quantities in the universe. The force of gravity is just one example, but there are many others, including Planck's constant and lots of others. So one question that we have about our universe is, how different could it have been from what we see today? And based on the calculations that we have about these constants, the answer is not very different at all. That is, not very different at all if the universe is going to have life in general and intelligent life in particular. In fact, many of these calculations have shown that if these constants were off by a tiny, tiny amount, an absolutely minuscule amount, then we would not see life in the universe at all. So it seems as if our universe has been fine-tuned for the existence of life in general, and for the existence of intelligent life, like ourselves in particular. It looks as if the universe has a goal or a purpose, namely the creation of life or intelligent life. This is called the fine-tuning argument, and it's frequently used as an argument for the existence of God. We look around, we do our science, we see what the features of the universe are, and then on the basis of thinking about how different it could have been, we see that our universe is actually fine-tuned for the existence of things like us. That's a very compelling argument for the existence of a fine-tuner, namely God or some sort of intelligent designer. And this argument is a genuinely new development in natural theology, arguments for the existence of God, that appeals to scientific results and scientific discoveries in order to argue for the existence of God. And that's very exciting. Many of the arguments for the existence of God go back to the Middle Ages and often back to ancient times. Things like the cosmological argument, for example, are very old, whereas the fine-tuning argument only comes about once we have developed science in the 20th century. So we have a genuinely new kind of argument for the existence of God on the basis of a fine-tuned universe.